Feeling good on a Tuesday. Welcome to the Fantasy Boo League, where you get half-decent advice from half-decent guys. I'm your host and big loser, Oogie Boogie. With me, as always, is Pumpkinhead Justin Giel, our resident fantasy football expert, whatever Senni is. I lost this week, and I blame all of the buys that I had on my team. I've never seen any team get hit with buys as hard as I did.
When you sent that picture, my heart dropped for you.
So to recap, I have Dak Prescott, Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris, Stephon Diggs, Deontay Johnson, CeeDee Lamb, Dawson Knox was my tight end, and Tyler Bass was my kicker. So 8 of my normal starting 10 were out last week, and I put together a skeleton crew that did not work out.
It almost did.
Well, I was close.
It did almost.
I scored more points. I went down with a fight, so I'll accept it, and now I will accept my fate.
Oh, this can't be good.
This is like the one that I've been trying to avoid the hardest. So I'm contemplating paying my way out of it. But I can't justify doing that. I have to call my mom with bad news.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
That's horrific.
We have talked about this before, and depending on the person, it would be a different thing. So I have to call my mom and tell her that I got my girlfriend pregnant, which is not going to be fun for me.
No, Mama J's going to love that.
So
I can't wait.
How long do I have to keep her on the phone? How long do I have to keep the bit going? A minute?
Yeah, I'd say a minute.
Yeah, long enough for her to potentially be upset, which is terrible. But.
Yeah. Have a introductory conversation, see how her day was.
No, because I'm going to do it the way that I would do it if I was actually calling her with this news.
Yeah, you got to sound like...
Which would be just to jump right into it and get it out like word vomit.
Yeah, like
and
a cannonball.
See what happens. If she doesn't answer, should I call my dad? How should I go about this? Because she does work. I don't know if she'll answer.
Ooh. Yeah, I say you call her dad. Don't leave a voicemail.
Man, because I would almost rather hear your dad. That's awesome.
Okay.
Don't leave a voicemail, but then your mom is going to wonder why you called her.
Yeah.
You have the voicemail. Sure.
I'm going to be anxious the entire time we record this podcast. So let's just run through this as quickly as possible. Justin, please read us the fines owed from last week.
Sure. So I owe $8. I said
big
play.
week.
Yeah, big week. Play into his factor when I meant to say favor. During the Washington Packers game, I cleared my throat. I think I did that twice during the same game.
Oh, I only charged you for one.
Oh, no, I cleared it then again during the Panthers-Giants game, and then cleared my throat once more during the Texans-Cardinals game.
Wow, a lot of throat clears.
Shawn, you owe $4. You said back against your wall when you were implying the Texans would upset the Cardinals.
They did not.
They did not. It was the Bills who upset the Vikings, not the other way around. Minnesota was favored by 17 points, and Buffalo won 27-6.
Yeah, I was trying to remember that game that was a massive upset, and I had the right teams, just the wrong result. Okay, I'll accept that. Senni, please read us the poll results from last week.
Okay, I haven't looked at these yet. So, will Cordero Patterson produce again this week? There are a lot of votes on this one. 73% yes to about 27% no. Does the NFL hate the Dolphins? About 57% yes to about 43% no.
Well, yeah, they made them play on a short week when they just went to London.
Yeah.
Will the Jets' offense be shut down by the Patriots again? 60% yes to 40% no.
60% were right. I was one of them.
Do geese honk? 70% yes to 30% no.
What? All right.
Who says no?
Yeah, the other 30%. What do they do? What sound does a goose make?
I mean, it's a honk.
They obviously honk.
It's got to be
Unless
a honk.
people think it's a quack, but it's not.
That's
a
people
duck.
who've never been outside.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Are you excited for the double revenge game between Matt Stafford and Jared Goff? 70% yes to 30% no.
It was a very entertaining game
It was a good
the whole
game.
way through.
Do you know who the tight end for Arizona was before Ertz was traded? It's about 28% yes to 72% no.
That 28% must be Cardinals fans.
Yeah.
Because I know it was Max X Williams, but after he got hurt, I have no idea.
I don't know. Would you let a man who
Didn't think you
tried
did.
to... I was trying to think if I did.
Yeah.
Would
that's
you
so
let
random.
a man who tried to burn his own feet off sleep in your house?
Antonio Brown.
I was like, what the fuck are we talking about?
AB.
7% yes to 93% no.
7% of people are
That's a lot.
high risk takers.
Or on his dick. Is serving the worst job. Wow. Only 36% yes to 66.
Wow.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you guys.
Damn, we should have had people comment what the
Yeah,
worst job
what
was.
the other one was.
Yeah. That's it.
That's all we got?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump in to our 1 o'clock games. First, we had the Panthers and the Falcons. Panthers were shut down completely on Sunday against the Giants, with Sam Darnold getting benched as a result of his poor play. Do you expect bounce-back games from Chuba Hubbard and DJ Moore this week, or is this a trend that managers should expect to see continue?
I am expecting a bounce-back game. I think it is something that we can or should be mindful of moving forward with Sam Darnold. He's never particularly been great, so I think we can expect these games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen week in and week out, though.
Yeah, and I mean, you shouldn't be starting Sam Darnold anyway.
Sure.
But DJ Moore and Chuba Hubbard, I believe, are still startable options each and every week, regardless of matchup. I'm not particularly concerned currently about the poor game from Sam Darnold and the whole offense. I feel like it'll get better. There will be down weeks like that, but I don't think it's a trend that we should be concerned with. Kyle Pitts had another monster game for the Falcons and is now a set-it-and-forget-it tight end for me. After another solid outing for Cordero Patterson, do you believe he has finally surpassed Mike Davis in the eyes of the coaching staff, Justin?
I think so. The hot hand's getting the ball.
Yeah, 16 touches for Patterson, only 4 for Mike Davis.
Yeah.
That's the way it should have been all along, in my opinion. He's clearly the better running back, clearly the better athlete. Mike Davis, I'm sure that they use for like pass blocking situations. But for now, I do think Patterson is a fine flex option.
Yeah.
I did not expect this to be the case through 7 weeks of the season, but here we are, and I'm advising to start him. I think Atlanta wins the game 24-19.
I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think it's going to be a bounce-back week.
I'm going to go with the Panthers.
All right, 2 for Panthers. I'm on the Falcons. Next, we have the Dolphins and the Bills. Tua had the offense humming last weekend in a good matchup against the Falcons. This, however, is a less than ideal matchup for the Dolphins. What do you expect the offense to look like on Sunday against Buffalo, Justin?
I think the offense is going to struggle. Buffalo's got a good defense.
Yeah, they do.
Myself, personally, I think they're the best team in the league all around.
Hard to argue.
I think you're still starting Gesicki, but that's really the only person I would start with any kind of comfort. I picked up Miles Sanders this past week because I really had to, with Chubb being out and then other players being on a bye, and he did well enough. Not Miles Sanders, Myles Gaskin.
Oh, okay. Fine.
But I don't like him this week.
Yeah, no. He's not done anything to solidify himself as the guy in this offense. He's not their unquestioned number one back. Pretty much all those guys are in a timeshare with each other. But Gesicki is a lock. I think Jalen Waddle is a fine flex option. And same goes for Devontae Parker when he's healthy. The Bills look to right the ship after a tough loss to the Titans last Monday night. I think we both expect a good offensive showing, but how high are you on Emmanuel Sanders this week, Justin?
I like him. He's getting the targets, and then he's always been that player that can get you kind of like that boom play.
Yeah.
So an 80-yard touchdown from this offense, I think he's the guy to get it.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see it this year, I mean, but he has been good. He's been consistently a good play, and he, like you said, can take the top off of defense still.
Yep.
I like him more than COVID Beasley. I think he has a nice game, and I think the Bills win 35-23.
Yeah, I'm going Bills as well.
Yeah, of course.
At one point, the Steelers had Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders.
I know.
That's true.
2 guys I got very attached to that left.
Yeah.
Wow.
Emmanuel Sanders would show up to practice in like a cowboy hat.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah.
I was very excited when he got drafted.
All right, stop reminiscing. We're going to talk about the 49ers and the Bears now.
The Bears.
Senni, can you name a 49ers running back?
It's so funny because I was like, here are the 2 teams that like I don't care about at all.
Will this help you concentrate?
I just can't
You
get over
look
that.
fucking
I just can't
hilarious.
get over that it's like attached to you.
Ooh, faster.
Man, this is hurting my eyes big time.
No, and I know that like I know one because I definitely like can think of one, but like I have no clue who it is.
So, Justin, is this a rare time that we can trust a 49ers running back?
I think so.
Okay. And his name is, and he is, and you like him, why?
Elijah Mitchell.
Okay.
I think he's the clear number one back when he's healthy.
I didn't have that name.
Yeah, he dominates the touches in the backfield. And he's looked great.
Yes.
In all the games that he's been healthy, he's looked great. He scored a touchdown this past week. He carved up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why am I blanking on
Who they played?
Yeah.
The Colts?
the Colts? That first drive was great to see. And I think they needed to because of the weather. But I think he's the guy to go to in this backfield.
Yeah, I would agree. He looks the best, and they trust him the most, so there's no reason for them to shy away from him, and they haven't so far, which is surprising for Kyle Shanahan. The Bears are bad at offense, and Justin Fields does not look like an NFL quarterback thus far into his career. Rookie running back Khalil Herbert, however, has impressed over the past 2 weeks. Do you believe he is a trustworthy fantasy option, Justin?
I do. I like him as a flex option just because of how bad this offense is. I think he can put up serviceable numbers, well, at least for the time being while Montgomery's out.
I'm a little bit concerned. He does look like the best running back, arguably on the team, because we both know we don't like David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Mouth breather.
Yeah, the man who can't read.
But last week, Damian Williams only had 4 touches, but he was out all week with COVID, so he didn't practice at all. He was out the week before. I have a bit of a concern that this may be more of a timeshare than we want it to be. That's how it was the first week these two played together. We thought it would be more Williams, and it was a pretty even split between the two. Last week, we saw more Herbert. You would think that they would go to Herbert more because he has more upside as a rookie on their team, whereas Williams is more like a rental for a year or two.
Yeah.
I think both are flex plays. I'm higher on Herbert, and I think the 49ers are going to win this game 26-17.
Yeah, I'm going Niners as well.
I'm going to go with the Bears.
Wow.
Oh, the Bears.
The Bears.
Your boys are up next as we have the Steelers and the Browns. The last time we saw the Steelers play, Chase Claypool was limited to just 2 catches for 17 yards. Are you at all concerned about this, Justin?
I don't think so. I mean, it's a very pass-heavy offense, and Ben's going to spread the ball out a lot.
Yeah.
And with Claypool, he's their one of their big play guys. So I feel like a lot of his. It's very hard to see with this thing on. I feel like he's going to get a lot of those deep throws, which we've said before Ben can't throw.
Right.
So I think that's going to kind of cap his potential week in and week out. But I don't think he's going to be limited to 3.7 points week in and week out.
To that point, I feel like that limits his floor. Like he's not going to get you a solid 10 points every week. He's a little boom bust. They don't have much. Juju's out for the year, so even with that, he's still the third option on the team behind Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris. So I have him as a low-end wide receiver 3, high-end flex. But his upside, I mean, he can get you wide receiver 2 numbers any week, and it's not like it's predictable which week that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
I think this week could be it. The Browns' defense is beat up.
They are, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, though, is it would make sense, but he could also go off against, I don't know, let's say that they were playing the Cardinals, who have one of the best defenses in the league. He might go off against that team. It's not like you can predict when those games are going to happen.
You sit him, and then he gets like 20-some points.
Right. So you just have to trust him and hope for the best. And he's either going to help you win or he's going to hurt you. But guys like that, I feel, always belong in your lineup. The Tyler Lockett type.
Yep.
The Browns won without Baker Mayfield and their top 2 running backs. Dearness Johnson was awesome filling in. Do you believe that managers should add him? I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. Do you believe managers who have added him should hold on to him, or was he simply a 1-week rental while Chubb and Hunt were out?
I would hold on to him just because with the extent of their injuries, those calf injuries, I feel like can linger for a little bit. So they could, or Chubb and Hunt can come back, start a couple weeks, injury comes back, it flares up, in goes Johnson. So I would hold on just in case. Like if you have room on your bench, I would advise holding on to him. I
would tend to agree. And I mean, I know that the Browns like to run 2 running backs, and they're more of a run-heavy team than they are a pass-heavy team. So it wouldn't shock me as if Chubb were to play that Dearness Johnson still gets some work because of how good he looked last Thursday night. This game is a tough one to pick. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm going to take the Steelers to win the game 27-24.
I'm going to go with the Steelers, not because I think they can win, but because I think the Browns are too beat up.
I just can't handle losing to the Browns again. So, I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
What, 3 in a row?
I just can't. Yeah. I can't do it.
Next, we have the Eagles and the Lions. Jalen Hurts is the garbage time GOAT with another terrible real-life game, but excellent fantasy day. He is a lineup lock, one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football. Yep. 20 points every single week, money in the bank.
Yeah, you can't argue stats.
That's true.
Teammate Miles Sanders left the game with an ankle injury, and we've already decided that we are not interested in starting him. But if he's forced to miss time, last I heard he's week to week, is there another Eagles running back who could step up and into fantasy relevance, Justin?
I think I would lean more towards Gainwell, just because I feel like he's going to play a similar role to Sanders where he can catch out of the backfield, he can still get the carries. I feel like Boston Scott's going to be like that goal line back, which, it's 6 points, but I don't think he's going to get as much work between the 20s.
Yeah, while Sanders was healthy, we saw Gainwell get some work. Yeah. And he caught a lot of passes, so I expect his role to stay comparable to what it's already been. But yeah, Boston Scott will obviously get some work. They each scored touchdowns last week, and he may even get goal line work.
There's glue inside of the mask, and it's going in my eye.
Okay, I'm sorry that you're getting glue in your face, baby. But yeah, I feel like Boston Scott is a riskier flex play, whereas Kenneth Gainwell.
I coughed in the mic and then turned away and did it.
You coughed into the mic and then I'm going to stop talking about this fucking team. Lions are not a great team.
Nope.
But they are playing with heart.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so great to watch them not win that game.
Yeah. They tried their best though. I'm still only starting DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson, but I have a feeling down in my plums that this is the week. Lions win 25-20.
I do too. I think they're going to do it, and it's going to be so great to scroll through all social media.
Well, since we all have the collective swollen plums about this, I have a feeling we're just wrong.
Yeah, it's going to be 42-3.
Yeah,
as long as Swift puts up numbers, I don't
give a shit. I'm with you, Senni. 100%. Next game, Titans at Colts. A.J. Brown has had 2 consecutive games with fantasy-friendly production. Is it time for managers to begin trusting him again, Justin?
I think so. The offense, as of late, has seemed to be more balanced. It's not just going through Derrick Henry.
Right.
I was joking before we started recording that Henry's throwing touchdowns now.
All hail.
Yeah. All hail.
All hail.
Thank you.
I don't think he's going to be throwing to A.J. Brown, but I do like him moving forward, more so than Julio Jones.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I made that call in the preseason.
Yeah.
It's one that I can take a victory lap on. But yeah, 9 targets each of the past 2 weeks. Julio, to your point, has a total of 9 over the past 2 weeks. So A.J. Brown, I'm comfortable with as a wide receiver too. I'm not as high on him as I would like to be going into the season. I had him as a wide receiver 1. And it is still Derrick Henry's offense. Yeah. So there may be peaks and valleys throughout the year. But A.J. Brown still does belong in lineups. He finally looks like his old self.
I feel like he's going to be that guy where if you put him on the bench, he's going to get you 20 points. But if you start him, 7.
Yeah. Those are the worst kind of guys to have on your team. But I don't know that I agree with that. I feel like A.J. Brown...
No, I mean, that was more hyperbole than anything.
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole is exactly what I was going to say.
That's what they play for in February.
The
hyperbole.
The hyperbole, yeah. We know that Jonathan Taylor-Thomas and Michael Pittman Jr. belong in our lineups, but there's a tight end in Indy who may be worthy of attention.
Yeah.
Senni, do you know the name of the Colts tight end who has 4 touchdowns over the past 4 games?
I feel like you were just talking about him earlier.
Was I?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Huh. It's not, no, because you were just talking about Pitts earlier, and that's...
that's on Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah. I'm thinking because I'm trying to think if there's like any tight end that I would
if he
think
pulls
is like
this off,
there's just no way.
I'll drink the ice.
There's no way. Nah, I don't know.
Well, his last name has one of your favorite words in it, so you may remember it.
Oh, so it's got, yeah, I know what the word is now. I still don't know what the player is.
Justin, does Mo Alley Cox warrant fantasy consideration?
Yeah, I've never heard that name before.
I think he does.
Yeah,
Wentz has always liked his tight ends.
that's true. And Cox is a firm tight end.
But yeah, I mean, he's getting the looks, he's getting the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Not much more you can ask for from a tight end.
No, and the dearth of the position is very shallow, so you definitely can use a guy who's scoring at that kind of clip if you're desperate. I'll take the Titans to stay hot and win this game 31-24.
I'm going to go Colts.
Nah, tighten up.
Tighten up. All right, Senni's with me.
Damn.
Next, we have the Bengals and the Jets.
This game's going to suck.
Jamar Chase has been ridiculous thus far
Fucking
this
A,
season.
Jamar Chase is the wave.
He's unreal. He's on pace to break the rookie receiving record.
Yeah, I love him.
Yes, he is. And T. Higgins has remained a solid wide receiver 3 option in this potent offense. But we've now seen Samaje Perine log comparable touches with starter Joe Mixon in 2 of the past 3 games. Perine outtouched Mixon 15-11 2 weeks ago against Green Bay, and each back had 12 touches on Sunday. What do you make of this, Justin?
So I feel like this could be transforming more so into a committee. And with that, I think it's to protect Mixon. He was banged up a little bit earlier in the year, so it could be his way of prolonging him for the longer season. So just mixing it up to make him last longer. Because I do think the Bengals have a push to make the playoffs.
Mixing it up.
There you go.
I strongly disagree with you.
Really?
Yes. I believe 2 weeks ago when they played Green Bay, that was when Mixon was coming off the injury, and I believe they were easing him back into it. This past week, Perine got a lot of work late, so the stat line is a little deceiving. It would be more encouraging to see Mixon get more early work, like you would hope that your best running back has more than 12 touches.
Yeah.
But they didn't really start running Perine until the game was out of reach for the Ravens. So I'm not concerned about it. I don't believe that Perine should be picked up and started, though I'm sure he will be. And I might look like a giant idiot if he does it again. But I don't personally believe that this is going to be a timeshare. Zach Wilson, Senni's favorite player, was injured in the Jets' embarrassing loss to New England. He's expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks. How does the fantasy value of this offense change with Mike White or newly acquired Joe Flacco under center, Justin?
I don't like anybody really on the Jets. If I'm starting anyone, it would probably be Corey Davis.
Yeah.
But even then, if I'm starting him in my lineup, I'm tempering expectations.
Yeah. I think Michael Carter has some deep league value as well. He's a solid running back. He started catching some passes. But yeah, I agree there aren't very many options that you want in your lineup anyway. But I also don't feel that the changing quarterback lowers any of their value.
Yeah, I think it's going to stay about the same.
Yeah, it's not like Zach Wilson was lighting it up, you know.
Right.
It's whether it's Mike White or Joe Flacco, I'm assuming that Joe Flacco is going to need a week to learn the playbook. I don't expect him to play this week. But either way, I mean, if I'm starting Corey Davis, if I was planning on starting Corey Davis with Zach Wilson, I'm still starting him with either of these guys. That being said, I think the Bengals win 33-16.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals as well.
I was ready for you to pick the Jets. I'm picking the Bengals.
Not picking the fucking Jets. Here's our last 1 o'clock game of the slate. The Rams and the Texans. Fun. Is Cooper Kupp the most valuable wide receiver in fantasy?
Yes, and I'm not sure that it's close.
No, it's not. He's been excellent. In the preseason, I think we both had him ranked right around the same place as Robert Woods, and it has not been close at all. So if you drafted him, you got a steal.
Yeah.
He is unquestionably the best wide receiver in fantasy and may end up being the best wide receiver in actual football by the time the season's over. He has 10 or more targets in every single game, and he's the only truly safe option on the entire team, miles ahead of Robert Woods and the next best guy. I still like Darrell Henderson Jr. as a running back, solid running back too, but Cooper Kupp is the dude.
Yeah.
Are you shying away from Brandon Cooks until Tyrod Taylor returns to the lineup?
I am. These past couple weeks, I feel like I've had to start him.
Yeah.
And he's been brutal.
Yep.
I think he's only scored 1 touchdown this year.
One a week would be nice.
Yeah. And he's getting the looks, but I was mentioning earlier, 7 catches for, I think, 21 yards this past week.
Yeah.
And his longest catch was like 14 yards. Mm-hmm. So he's only getting those quick checkdowns, and he's not able to turn it into anything. And especially this week up against a good defense, I see the same song and dance.
Yeah, it's sad because the talent is there for him, and he is getting the targets, to your point. I feel like he just needs a competent quarterback, and he'll be fine. So hopefully Tyrod Taylor is available this week. I will keep my fingers crossed. I am very high on Brandon Cooks for the rest of the year. I just need his quarterback to improve.
Yep.
I think the Rams are going to win this game easily, 33-16.
Yeah, I'm going Rams.
I don't even think it's a contest.
No, not even a contest. Well, now we will talk about drinks. Thirsty Thursday. Justin,
Yeah.
tell me what you're drinking. Tell me about the Packers. And tell me who you think's going to win the game.
Sure. So I am drinking Stranger Than chocolate and coconut.
Ooh, I like coconut.
Yeah. I think this is delicious. And, I mean, you can tell I have finished just about half of the beer. Well, perfect timing. We're right at the halftime. But it's not overly strong. 5.5% porter.
It's a porter. Okay.
Yeah, and this is from Collective Arts,
Yeah,
which I think they were initially like a contract brewer out of Canada.
No.
Could not remember the name of the country. But
Our
they
neighbors to the north.
Yes, there we go. They've since moved to Wanaki, Wisconsin.
Ooh, Wanaki.
I really like this beer. It's not overpowering with coconut, which I feel like sometimes beers that you get coconut in, it just tastes like you're biting into a coconut. You get all the flavors there. Really nice. A little bit of roast. Really good. The Packers, this is going to be an interesting week. Just because Devontae Adams recently added to the COVID list. Lazard was added to the COVID list. I'm obviously, if Adams is starting, if he's playing, you're starting him. I think this week of all of this, the players on the Packers, I really like Rodgers the best. I feel like it's going to be a shootout between both teams, and he's going to be the main beneficiary from all of it.
Well, I just dropped him, so he's available.
There you go. Aaron Jones, he looked brutal last week, but I don't think that's going to be a week in, week out sort of thing. Maybe even this week, picking up Tunyon, using him as a streaming option, just because you're going to have, well, there's two teams on a bye. So if you have a team on a bye or your tight end's banged up, I do like Tunyon this week. Unfortunately, I do think the Packers are going to win and give the Cardinals their first loss.
I was going to pick the Packers until I found out about these COVID updates.
I still think they're going to find a way to do it.
I hear that. I'll give you my prediction in a bit.
Sure.
In the meantime, I am drinking Blackberry Hex from Superstition Meadery out in some fucking place in Arizona. It is a 14% beer, or mead, I should say, and it's a 25-ounce bottle, so you boys feeling a little tipsy at the moment. But this is one of the best meads, probably the best mead I've ever had in my entire life. The blackberry flavor is strongly potent, and it's not syrupy. It's not sour.
It tastes real. It doesn't taste like it's like...
It tastes like juice. It tastes like juicy juice. Like it's just tastes like straight blackberry juice at a clobbering 14% that is very well hidden. This is a dangerous drink. I'm telling you right now. This is one of the best.
Dangerous.
This is one of the best beers I've had on this podcast. As for the Cardinals, they've rolled offensively this season, and I like the matchup against a weak Packers secondary. Hopkins is a clear wide receiver one, and the other three receivers on the team, A.J. Green, Rondale Moore, Christian Kirk, I think are all risky flex-level dart throws. I also view both running backs as flex-worthy on this team. James Conner and Chase Edmonds. I still prefer Edmonds, but Conner is more likely to score goal line touchdowns. Zach Ertz, I think, is a fine tight end option now that he's no longer in competition for targets with Dallas Goedert in Philly. He scored a touchdown in his first game with the Cardinals.
His longest career touchdown.
Yeah, well, there you go. The offense is going to score a lot, and I have no doubt that this is going to be another high-scoring week for them. So all of them are fine plays. You kind of think about the Chiefs in a similar way, where any guy you throw out there is fine. There's a couple dominant guys that are top level, and the others, they might score, they might not. But the offense is going to score, so it's worth trying. Matt Prater, great kicker.
Yep.
Highly recommend Matt Prater. And I believe that the Cardinals are going to win because of the Packers' COVID problems. I don't think it's going to be close. I don't think the Packers are going to have much success. I think it's going to be a 27-16 victory for Arizona. 8-0. Senni, tell me what you're drinking and tell me who you think is going to win the game.
I'm drinking Jumbo Slice from Other Half. It's a pale ale. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't normally have too much to say. I'm sure you both have had it before, but you're welcome.
I've never had it.
I've had dollar slice. I don't think I've had jumbo slice.
Arizona is definitely my NFC team at this point. I have nothing but good things to say about them, and I obviously fucking hate the Packers, so I'm full support on Arizona.
All right.
I think they're the team to beat this year.
True.
It's a tasty beer.
Yeah, they're the last remaining undefeated team, so we can't argue with that at all. We're moving into our 4 o'clock window. Whew, this is hard for me to get. I am feeling it. The Patriots play the Chargers. New England is coming off of a monster game in which Damian Harris scored 25.3 fantasy points. Now that he's totaled over 100 yards and at least a touchdown in consecutive games, should he be firmly placed into lineups, Justin?
I really like him. I wanted to pick him up this past week and put him in my lineup, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get him off of the waiver wire. But I do like him this week.
I don't agree. He doesn't catch any passes. I feel like his success is dependent on game script. Last week was a great option for him, a great week to use him because he was playing the goddamn Jets.
Yeah.
And the week before, that game against Dallas was closer than I expected it to be. So that could be the case this week. But coming off a tough loss, I expect Justin Herbert and the Chargers to blow them out a little bit. I don't think it's going to be close for very long. So I don't think that Damian Harris will get enough usage to warrant flex consideration. But we're allowed to disagree on things. That's part of the game.
Of course.
I already talked about this a little bit, but the Chargers had a poor outing against Baltimore the last time we saw them play. Do you have any concerns for their star-studded offense going into this matchup, Justin?
I don't. They had a week off to prepare. I'm sure they got reamed pretty hard after that very poor offense.
I'm reaming you.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it together, Justin.
That was exact footage from
Brandon Staley press conference. Yeah.
No, I like all the star players going into this lineup, and I even like Jared Cook.
He's a solid tight end.
Yeah,
especially in deep leagues. I mean, he always has a chance to score every week, which you like. I think the Chargers are going to win this game 31-16.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers as well.
Yeah, I guess I'll go Chargers.
Okie dokes. Next, we have the Jags and the Seahawks, two excellent teams.
Yeah.
Last time we saw the Jags, they got their first win in London. James Robinson is a clear fantasy starter. Senni, can you name an active Jags wide receiver?
That's so funny because now I have a feeling you're going to tell me that Chark's not active.
He is not.
Yeah, that's so funny because, of course, that's like my go-to name. Is Shawn a Jag?
Oh, wow, he got one. Yeah, he is.
Because I feel like I've had him in the past.
Well, there you go. You got one.
All right, Justin did it last, so Vince.
All right, Vince is coming in. Thank fucking God. If I had to do an ice and drink this beer, I might pass out.
Yeah.
I was really dreading it. My heart was racing again. Fuck, I still make that call too. Shit.
Yeah,
I forgot. Honestly.
I forgot about that as well.
Justin.
Yeah.
Are any of the options or any of the receivers on the Jags, Laviska Shenault, Agnew, I think his name is, and Marvin Jones Jr. Do any of them warrant starting this week?
I am not really big on any of them. Agnew, I think, had a good game this past week.
Yeah, he did.
That's a great job.
Yeah, that was.
Oh well, you don't jinx him. Don't jinx him.
That was great.
Wow, what a king!
he got the power of Master Chief from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with this offense, the biggest constant's going to be James Robinson.
Yeah.
The wide receivers, you don't know who's going to have that big week. And then I think a lot of it depends on how well Trevor Lawrence plays.
Marvin Jones Jr. is my favorite option. The only one that I'm particularly interested in starting.
I think he's the best option on the team. If you're going to start one, I think he would be the one I would go after.
Yeah, he's a pro's pro, to use a cliche. He's the veteran on the team, and I feel like Trevor Lawrence is going to look to him the most.
Yep.
Who gives a fuck about that, though? Great chug by Vince. Probably the best one I've ever seen him do.
Yeah, I agree.
That was excellent. Yeah, it was the power of Master Chief. I got shotgun. I'm a camp here and own everybody.
Oh my god, yes, I got shotgun. I'm a camp here and own everyone.
For the Seahawks. We've talked at lengths about the length of DK Metcalf's third calf.
Yep.
And how we're both Tyler Lockett haters. But after a game in which they found no success on the ground, what fantasy value do you see in the Seattle backfield while the mattress is sleeping?
I'm not thinking I see much. I think I like Collins a little bit more, but there's no comfort in starting either him or Penny.
Yeah, well, Penny just came back from injury.
Sure.
Collins, I did like a lot. He had a great game against who did they play last Sunday night? Was it the Steelers?
The Steelers.
Yeah. When they played the Steelers, he had a great game. And the week before, he was pretty good. But this past week, Rashad Penny came back. He had 6 touches. Collins still out-touched him. He had 17. But the upside is capped, and you got to figure that they want Penny to get more involved. So I am not comfortable starting either guy. Still worthy of rostering in case one of them either gets injured or perhaps takes on a lead role. But for right now, I think they're best kept on the bench, even in a good matchup against the Jags. But I do think the Jaguars win this game 24-21.
I do too. I'm going Jags.
Wow, I thought I was going to be the only one who picked Jags. Yeah.
Damn. We all got them 2 in a row. They are going to get
Jags.
blown out. Yeah, that is one of your favorite teams. Next, we have the Washington and the Broncos. Terry McLaurin was the lone bright spot in Washington's offense this past weekend, and J.D. McKissick actually produced more fantasy points than lead back Antonio Gibson for the second straight week. Is this a trend you expect to continue, Justin?
Not too much. They played it was the Packers this past week, right?
Yes.
So I feel like McKissick's been involved in the passing game a lot more, and also Gibson's been kind of beat up these past couple weeks. So that could have been like a preservation attempt. I'm not super worried. I don't think Gibson's been performing particularly like outstanding the entire year. That I would be more so worried about, but I don't think McKissick's going to outperform him week in and week out.
I agree. It's matchup dependent.
Yeah.
When you expect them to be trailing, he'll probably have a good game. When you expect them to be leading or in a close game, it's tough to predict. So he's a risky flex option for me. I think this is going to be a relatively close game.
Yeah.
The Broncos also struggled to move the ball on offense last week, but they may have Jerry Jeudy available for this game. So keep an eye on that.
Yep.
Javonte Williams outproduced Melvin Gordon 3 last Thursday. Which back do you prefer for the rest of the season, Justin?
I like Williams. I think he's a young guy that they need to start using more.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Especially next year, I think Javonte Williams is going to be a stud.
Yeah.
We were talking about it in the preseason, and I felt that Javonte Williams would emerge as the clear lead back on this offense. It hasn't happened yet, but I still believe it's coming. He looks like the better option to my eyes. Melvin Gordon 3 still has some juice, so he's not going away without a fight. But
yeah. I think this is last year on that contract.
Exactly,
as well,
that's what I'm saying. Next
yeah.
season, it's Javonte Williams' season for sure. But you would expect them to phase Melvin Gordon out as they get further and further away from playoff contention. I think both these teams are bad.
Yep.
I'll take Denver to win 20-16.
I'm going to go with the Washington.
Oh, the Washington.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are that bad. I'm going with Washington as well.
Both teams are bad, guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a shit game.
Yeah.
But it could also be a good game.
It could be. Sometimes the bad teams make good games.
Yeah.
Justin makes a good point.
Yeah.
Next, we have a game that I'm hoping isn't a good game. The Bucs play the Saints.
Christ.
Bucs offense continued to roll on Sunday. Are you firing up all the healthy weapons? The receivers have always been the focal point of the offense, but do you believe Uncle Lenny has now emerged as a trustworthy back, Justin?
I do. I started him this past week, and I was confident in starting him. Yeah, I like him. He's getting the goal line work. I think this past week he split some carries with Rojo, but I think that was game script. The game was pretty much out of hand, so they were just letting him go in. And then Kavon, whatever's...
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, there you go. Kavon.
Kavon.
He was getting some carries at the end, so I think if the game was closer, Fournette's points would have been a little bit higher, but I really like him.
Yeah, so far this season, I mean, he's been the number one back. It hasn't been a question. We expected it to be a timeshare when the season began. Thus far, it has not been. Yep. I believe he is a safe running back, too, each and every week. For the Saints, Alvin Kamara had just 15 catches on the season going into Monday night's game against Seattle. He then brought in 10 of 11 targets and ran the ball 20 times. He is the star of this offense.
He is.
And I'm hoping that they continue to use him this way for all you fantasy managers. I don't even have him in a single league I'm in. So this is just a selfless request.
Oh, I was going to say.
No, I don't have him at all. I want to see the good guys do well. So for all of you Alvin Kamara fantasy managers out there, I hope this continues for you. I truly do. Trying to get some good karma, man. I need a win. There's a chance that pussy Michael Thomas plays this week.
I know. I was going to say.
Yeah.
I heard he was going to play.
Should managers insert him into their lineups if he does, Justin?
No.
I didn't pick him up. He was an option.
I think he's been out too long with a new quarterback under center as well. I don't think it's gonna mesh well right away.
I agree with that, but I do believe if he's available in your league, you should add him.
Oh yeah.
He's worthy of being rostered for sure.
Yeah.
But I do want to give it a week before I put him back in there. And if he's terrible for the whole year, whatever, I don't care. Fucking hate him. I think the Bucs are going to win the game 4-20-0. Fuck the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks as well.
Bucks for sure. Fuck the Saints.
Sunday Night Football.
We've been waiting all day for Sunday night.
Senni, what have you waiting all day to talk about?
I'm waiting all day to talk about Halloween candy.
Ooh, okay.
So I just want to keep like a nice, easy theme here. So as a teacher, one of like the big things I've always done is like I try to have like candy for my kids like in the class. And in middle school, it was like these kids would do fucking anything for candy. And in high school, I thought that
be careful.
Like, they wouldn't they wouldn't be into the candy thing, and they like surprisingly are. So like I always like keep Jolly Ranchers because Jolly Ranchers are like very easy, they're very cheap, and everybody likes Jolly Ranchers. And I never keep chocolate ever because like obviously if chocolate just sits for a long time, it's like it gets old. So hard candy's always been the easy bet. But like when I think about like Halloween, I feel like when you like go trick or treating, you want Halloween candy, like you think of chocolate, like you want chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking like some of my players today, like what was like their favorite like Halloween candy, and they were being like they like couldn't really give me an answer, like they didn't care. But I got like Twix was an answer. I got Skittles was like surprising because again it's like hard candy.
Mm-hmm.
But in my personal opinion, I think like the obvious go-to is like Reese's.
Yeah.
For me, that would be like the number one. Like if I'm a kid and like I could have like any like Halloween candy, I would want like Reese's.
Yeah.
So like in general, obviously there's like a lot. Like I always liked Snickers. I liked like Kit Kat, stuff like that. But like for me, the top is Reese's.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what would you put as like yours?
A Ziploc bag full of Sprite.
That's so funny because I was going to mention that.
And those Jehovah's Witnesses books about Jesus. It's hard for me to look at these two and not fucking laugh.
I still like every time I see like the meme of like the bag of Sprite is so funny. Take one bag of Sprite.
I'm gonna go either Twix or Kit Kat. I've never been like a big fan of like the chewy like gummy candies and stuff like that. Like Skittles, not a big fan of. I don't like the way like Skittles taste, and then like it leaves like a film in your mouth.
It
No,
does leave a film
I
in
feel
your
the
mouth,
same.
yeah.
I don't really
I don't
like
like
Skittles.
Jolly Ranchers I like. But yeah, Twix or Kit Kat were my favorites. Always have been.
Well, it's funny because I feel like when you're like a kid, like, and you're like even in like Wawa, you get like candy, whatever. I wouldn't go out of my way to get like a Three Musketeers or something.
No, Three
But, like,
Musketeers are boring as hell.
so, like,
You know what obscure candy I do like? Butterfingers.
I love
yeah.
Butterfingers.
Fingers are awesome.
I'm a big fan of Butterfingers, Milk Duds, Milk Duds. I like Reese's. I like Twix. I like Snickers. I like Whoppers. That's an
I
obscure
like
one.
Whoppers. Yeah.
That's another one that I think isn't very popular.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not. That's you take the little like the 3-packs that you would get from like
Oh,
trick
yeah.
or treating.
They used to give you like jujubes too. Like the
Yeah.
little,
Those
like-
suck. Those
yeah,
are
they're not
trash.
I do like Dots.
I don't like Dots.
Dots
like
are
Dots.
just a different brand of jujubes. They're like the exact same
Exactly.
candy.
Yeah.
When we were kids, I used to trade my Dots to Justin because he liked them.
I like Dots. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Paydays?
Payday, dude. No, not really.
Yeah, I mean,
Does Payday have chocolate in it?
I think it's peanut.
No, that's Baby Ruth.
Baby
Ruth
Baby
has,
Ruth's a
like-
chocolate covered. Baby
Yeah.
Ruths are good. Paydays are just like
What's Payday, Vince?
I think it's peanut butter and peanuts.
I think
No,
it's just
peanut?
peanuts and like maybe
caramel.
caramel.
I thought it was
Yeah.
like
Caramel.
caramel.
yeah, it's like caramel and like peanuts mixed together in like a log.
Yeah, a log. Make it sound so appetizing. Yeah, what fucking adult is buying that for children? I can't imagine.
Is it 100 grand bars?
100
Oh
grand
my
bars.
God, that's
My
terrible.
parents love them.
They're not bad.
They're not bad.
Crunch bars are like boring as shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Have you had like is it a Take 5 that's like the pretzel one?
Oh,
Yeah,
Take
Take
Fives
Fives
are
are
Those
good.
are really good.
Yeah, I
Those
like
are
Take
amazing.
Fives. Yeah, Take Fives are good. Let's think about more like the gummy candies, like gummy bears or Skittles? Like what other shit like that? Like
Twizzlers.
I don't like Twizzlers. At
A
all.
lot of people give Twizzlers.
I don't like the regular Twizzlers. I like the ones that you like.
Oh, they're the
Oh,
best.
those
The
are the
peel
best
apart
ones.
ones
you
are
pull them
fire.
apart and it's like a little pasta in your hand.
Those are
Oh,
the best
yeah.
ones. And I like licorice. Like I like black licorice a lot.
See, I don't like black.
See, I can't eat
but
black
love-
licorice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you
See,
like Sambuca?
I do. But a Twizzler is just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Red Vines, same idea.
Red vines are trash. They
Red
do not
Vines at the
taste.
dollar store.
Yeah,
no.
they don't taste.
Red vines are.
Red Vines are just Twizzlers,
watered
but
down
for poor
Twizzlers.
people.
So they're worse. That's gross. This is
Could you imagine
gross.
someone giving you like a Toblerone for Halloween?
Oh my
You ever have a
God.
Toblerone?
No, but I just know they're
I
trying.
haven't either.
They're good. They're hard to eat. You have to break it off. It
Yeah,
takes you like a week and a half to eat one.
Really?
Yeah,
A week
it's
and a
not
half.
because they're like it's. I'll go back to the word. It's a log that they have sectioned off into like perforated like triangles that you break off and eat.
It's like a triangular prism.
Yeah,
And they're pretty big, right?
yeah,
Maybe that'll be a punishment.
It's
next
like an
year.
old people chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat an entire Toblerone bar.
You know
in the
what's good
duration
that
of the
nobody ever
podcast.
gave out because they would always eat them themselves? Those Ferrero Rochers.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they're expensive too.
Yeah, they are.
That's why
Don't
nobody
give
ever
out.
gave them out.
Yeah.
Imagine even a gourmet chocolate.
Yeah, man, we don't live in Morristown.
What's
Yeah.
the other one? There's
probably
like
see
another
it.
one you could buy. Is it Lindor?
The
I
truffles.
was gonna say-
Lindor.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
the
Lindor
individually
truffles
wrapped
are like,
ones.
are like the ones you get like in Morristown or Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Morristown
man.
and Haddonfield are like the go-to.
Yeah. Well, I know where I'm going to go trick-or-treating.
You are 26.
They're probably
Doesn't
giving
matter.
out.
I have a costume. I have a costume,
true.
buddy.
Huh?
They're giving out dollar bills in Morristown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm avoiding the streets by going trick-or-treating. I saw a post about that. I'm going to stop talking about
Avoiding the
this.
streets, like
Yeah.
doing bad shit.
Stay off the streets. Go trick or
There's a
treating.
post that says something like that teenager that's trick-or-treating is choosing to go trick-or-treating instead of doing something illegal or going to a party and getting drunk. It's like, well, maybe he's just a loser.
Maybe he's doing that afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if he's normal.
Yeah, trick or treating is an early thing. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, 5,
Who's
6
TP
o'clock.
in a house at 6 p.m.?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
5, 6 o'clock. Superman's knocking on your door. Trick or treat. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's not even
And
dark
then he's
yet.
in your
Like, a lot
backyard
of trick-or-treating
punting your
happens
cat
before
across
dark
the
now.
yard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a teenager and go trick-or-treating, at least wear a costume. Nothing bothers me more than when these fucking kids show up
With a Wawa
with
bag saying trick or
a
treat.
string backpack,
Yeah.
and slides and fucking Nike socks on. And
Just
say,
give me candy.
Oh, I'm here for the comedy. Let's talk about
Okay,
football.
tell him dressed as Lucas.
We're totally off
Smash.
the rails. Vince, your costume is fucking hilarious.
It would have been
Thank you.
more hilarious if he sat over here with the mic and didn't say a goddamn thing.
the entire time. That would be funny, but he contributed to
Yeah,
the
he did.
conversation. Appreciate Vince sitting in every time he has.
We
the
appreciate all you
opportunity
do,
to.
Vince.
Yes, MVP, Vince Verrico. Time to talk about Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys play the Vikings this Sunday night.
Yep.
We will be waiting all day. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, gonna be a good game.
We know that we're all starting Dak, Zeke, Cooper, and Lamb, but as Dalton Schultz became a lineup lock as well, Justin.
I think so too.
It was a question, but yes, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I asked if you thought he would be, and you said, I think so too.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah,
As
I
well.
think so too. At least 6 targets in all but one game thus far this season for Dalton Schultz, and he has 12 or more points in every game since week 3.
Yep.
So he is as good as any tight end that's out there.
Yeah, I think so too.
After a monster game the last time we saw him play, have your concerns about Adam Thielen subsided?
I think so. I think he's obviously not the number one he's not the number one wide receiver on the team, but I think he's a serviceable wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 week in and week out.
Yeah, that's the right approach to take. I mean, he's not the number one on the team anymore. That's obviously Justin Jefferson. And they're still a run-first team with Dalvin Cook as their running back, or Alexander Madison in the weeks that Cook is out. But I do like both of them. I like Kirk Cousins as a streaming option. I think this is going to be a fun game to watch, and I think the Vikings are going to win in an upset 33-31.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Cowboys, but I do think the Vikings are going to pull it off.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good
It's-
game.
It is. It was a hard decision to make, honestly.
I think it'll be good.
I
All
think
right.
this and then the Packers-Cardinals game are the biggest toss-up.
Yeah, well, I disagree with the second one, but say la vie. I'm getting super nervous. This is our last game preview.
Yeah.
Giants play the Chiefs. If the Giants receivers are able to play on Monday night, who do you like this week, Justin?
I really like Sterling Shepard. I think he's the number one on the team. Galladay, I wasn't even big coming into the year. And then the third wide receiver, whose name I'm blanking on, Comey?
Kadarius Toney.
Tony, there you go.
Yeah.
If by any chance he's the only one that's able to go, I do like him.
If I had to rank them, I would probably put Sterling Shepard as my number 1, Kadarius Toney as my number 2, and Kenny Galladay, as my number 3. Shepard has been the most consistent thus far this season. When he plays, he dominates the target share.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney, I think, has the most upside.
Yep.
So both of those guys I'm fine with starting if they're all healthy. The Chiefs' defense is not great, so I do think the Giants will have some success moving the football. But what the fuck is wrong with the Chiefs?
I could not tell you. I know their defense is bad, but just overall, they have not looked like the Chiefs of the past.
No, they haven't. Patrick Mahomes is not taking care of the Duke. He's careless with the football. He needs to make better decisions, but I don't understand how they only put up 3 points last week.
Yeah.
That is mind-blowing to me. Do you think that will continue this week, or do you believe that they'll right the ship?
I think they will start to right it. I don't see this game being a blowout. But yeah, something's got to change.
Yeah, you would think so.
I don't think you're benching any of their players. Like Mahomes, if he's able to go, he's starting. You're starting him. Hill, you're still starting. Kelsey, you're still starting. But it's tough to watch.
It is tough to watch. It's very disappointing if you have those guys on your team. But you have to think that eventually they'll get it together. You have to just keep hoping. And like I said, I'm not benching any. Like you said, I'm not benching anybody. But it is frustrating. But I feel like the Giants are going to get their shit pushed in. I think the Chiefs are going to win 35-20.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chiefs as well.
See, I see the Chiefs putting numbers up, but I just think they're going to find a way to blow it.
So you're going Giants?
Yeah, I am.
Wow. I would like to see it, but
I just have no confidence in the Chiefs anymore. It's really hard to, honestly.
Well, it's interesting that you put your faith in your confidence in the Giants.
I know, and that's why it was like hard, because as much as like I feel like the Chiefs suck right now, I'm also saying I think the Giants are going to beat them.
Right, right, exactly. All right. I always say all right before I'm going to start something new. I got to stop doing that. That's like a verbal tick I have. But all right, I'm going to call my mom.
Oh, God.
I'm glad this isn't me, because mine just like wouldn't answer.
Yeah.
Mine might not answer either, but not for different reasons.
See, it's worse, because then you have to go through like the ring.
Yeah.
Just for her to not answer.
I'm sweating.
And with each ring, it gets worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Because you never know.
Dude, I'm in this hot ass Oogie Boogie costume and I'm sweating.
Does she talk in her voicemail? Like, could you potentially mistake her for answering or no?
I don't think so.
Does she still have the ring back?
No.
No way. No way. Ringbacks are still a thing.
All right, are you guys done talking now?
Yeah.
Okay. Silence, please. Hey, Mom. I don't really think there's an easy way for me to say this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. Rachel told me she's pregnant, and I don't know what we're going to do.
What?
Yeah. I don't know how we're going to get through it or whether she's going to... You know, I don't know. I'm on my way to her house now because she just called me and told me, and I didn't know what to do, and I'm freaking out. I don't know. Obviously, neither of us are ready, but...
You're okay.
Yeah. Well, I did figure one thing out about this, though. If it's a boy, we're going to name him Dearnest. Because if I would have started Dearnest Johnson, I wouldn't have to do this punishment, and I wouldn't have had to call you and tell you this terrible news and freak you out and be a terrible son. But this is part of the podcast, and I kind of just got fucked. So I'm sorry I had to do that, but I had to do it. I'm sorry. I love you.
I fucking hate you.
I love you too. I'm sorry.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, my God.
I was very uncomfortable.
Dude,
I was horrifically uncomfortable.
Oh, my God.
I was like cringing, man.
She didn't talk for 30 seconds after saying
I know.
that.
I was like, oh my God.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Fantasy Beer League. We'll be with you every Wednesday with audio-only podcasts available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. As always, please like and subscribe. I'm Shawn Joyce. He's Justin Gill, and here's Matt Senni with his advice of the week.
If you're going to go trick-or-treating as a teenager, at least wear a mask so no one knows how old you are.
Good luck on week 8.